Good afternoon, members. Hope everybody's having a great trading week. I know we're having amazing trades based on what you guys have been seeing in the main Telegram channel. So I wanted to actually take a little bit of my time to explain exactly what the market is doing. I know I posted exactly my trades in the Telegram channel this morning, but I wanted to, make a video to explain, because, pictures can only explain so much. So with Euro JPY, I called the buy literally at the wick, guys. If you even want to zoom in, at that double tap is when I called that buy. It was right below the EMA, but the two EMAs didn't break through that EMA. So that's why we bought. And you guys can kind of see there's resistance in this area. And if you want to draw a wedge, you definitely could right here. So what I see market doing is you guys can clearly see that it's, pushing to the upside, right? It's not really hanging around down here too much. And if we look at the Fibonacci levels, so right here at the top right is the 4-hour chart, so you guys can kind of see everything in a bigger perspective. If you have the Fibonacci levels body to body, okay, from the high and the low, you can clearly see that the 61 Fibonacci level was respected back in, the 12th of February, respected again back in the 14th, rejected again on the 18th before it broke through it, and now it's bouncing on it. As many of you guys know, the Fibonacci's that I have are custom. It's 78, 61, and 1 and 0. Those are only two numbers you need. You can clearly see the 78 right now. It's actually bouncing on the 78 Fibonacci. It bounced on it twice. That was also another confirmation why we should buy. And even though we're in profit right now, I definitely see this still coming up and rising, maybe to at least test this area before, maybe it drops down. So for Euro JPY, I'm still in this trade. And let's move on to Euro USD. So last market breakdown, let me delete this. Last market breakdown, guys, you can't make this up. I literally, doesn't this just look identical to what I just drew? It's the same setup every time. You can clearly see I said, hey, this might even come down a little bit more before it rises, but we're entering in a buy. We entered in the buy, and even though market rejected over here, so when market was just like this, people thought, oh, it rejected 3 times, it's going to crumble down, right? But as I explained in the last market breakdown, that look, it's the Fibonacci levels again. 0, 1, 0 at the top of the body and at the low. And you can clearly see that the negative 61 Fibonacci level, which is just the opposite of the 61, is just equally as respected. I said that even though it was rejecting off this EMA, so let me zoom into this one on the 4-hour chart. So even though it rejected off this 200 EMA over here back in the 20th and then back in the 21st, people thought it was going to drop. It rejected off one more time, but I saw this coming to the negative 61 before any rejection. And clearly it hit take profit. So what you can actually do is, even though the other pair is in a buy, negative 61 is always very respected. So if you want to go into a smaller time frame, like the 15-minute time frame, and you can clearly see that it rejected off the 61, the negative 61 fib, and right now what it looks like it's going to be doing. And this is going to be so funny because people really think that I move the market, but in reality, this is exactly what's going to happen. It's going to come up one more time, and it's not going to make a higher high. It's going to come down, retest this 200 EMA just like it did before. Every time it's farther away from it, it always rejects it. So if I had to guess where the EMA would be going, I would say it's just like that. Okay? And this is just on the 15th, so I can clearly see it that it would just come down, at least touch that EMA before continuing to rise further. So in that case, you're going to want to enter in a short position. Okay. Stop loss, if you want, it's only 15 pips that you're risking, so I would put it above the 78 Fibonacci. So risking 20 pips while looking to make 20 pips. Okay, this is a one-on-one ratio. Please use the right risk management. You can easily profit from this accurate trade. Moving on to Euro JBP. Now, I called this, now I'm being transparent, I called this rise because this was a huge drop out of nowhere. So looking at the daily, that is a huge candle drop. Now, one thing that I teach in the Forex Wage University, and you guys will have access to that once it's packaged and ready, is that when big spike movements happen like that, that's just them trying to, persuade you, look, it broke. So if I move this, it broke the previous support, okay? Right here is the previous support. It broke it, right? People are thinking, oh, it's probably going to crumble down. Well, I don't think so. If we switch this Fibonacci to have it to the negative, let me just if anything, it could drop to. Now this is on a daily. I honestly don't even see this coming down. You guys clearly can see that it was rejected back in November, and then it was rejected back in January. This is just a fake move. That's exactly what this is. People are just induced to trade right now because, it's a quick move. It broke this trend line though, so that's where we bought. We bought right here because it was respecting this trend line. We thought it was gonna come touch this EMA, right, as it did before. It broke through the trend line. The two EMAs, the 18 and the 8 EMAs, crossed over this trend line, which indicated further downside movement. And once it did that, I see this just honestly coming up. I know it's Brexit right now, so you honestly don't have to trade Euro JBP if you don't feel comfortable with it. There's a lot of high impact news going on, but if you're not going to trade it, I'm going to trade it because I honestly see this coming up way more. So on a daily, looking at it on a daily, it still didn't touch the EMA, the 200 EMA still, and it made a lower low. So this is clearly at least going to rise back to this zone area. You can kind of see there's rejection off here on the zone area, rejection. I would not be surprised if this just is a higher rise than this original move. So with that being said, even though I am in a short for the Euro USD, even though I'm in a short for the Euro USD, this is actually a long, okay? You can see it wicked off over here. And then, guys, if you're in the previous trade and you did not hit stop loss, that's okay. Stay in that trade. Literally, this is going to be a bigger trade than the one before. Looking at it on the 4 hour, you don't even have to have a stop loss that deep. So we're actually going to move that stop loss to only about 35 pips. So you're only risking 35 pips while you're looking to make around, is it 100? Let me check right now. I think it's 100. 115 minimum. Okay. Maybe it will reject off this trend line over here because it has been respected. So whatever is respected, I always continue to go. So it might come. I can see this maybe coming over here, rejecting off this, rejecting off that, and then continuing to rise. But definitely a bullish momentum. So I'll keep you guys updated on those trades in the main Telegram channel. Make sure you give this video a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.